and sweet dreamers. Thank you for choosing to spend time with me today. You could be anywhere, but you're here with me, and I really appreciate that. Speaking of appreciation, please do me a quick favor, like and subscribe. It only takes a minute, a second even, but it means the world to me. Thank you very much. So this is going to be part 2 of my things I got for Christmas video. Part 1, if you have seen it already, was I Dig Monsters. I found this little guy in the center of the juiciest popsicle, and we excavated him by slowly carving away the popsicle jelly, and then we got to dunk him in ice water, which was a surprise. The whole thing was kind of surprising. If you haven't seen it yet, I suggest you check it out. But he was part 1, so I won't spend too much time with him. Part 2 of things I got for Christmas, which I should mention majority of these are ASMR themed or have to do with recording these videos. I was thinking of you guys the whole holiday season. Cloud lights. I'm not sure how I'm going to set these up yet, but I want them to be in the background somewhere. I think it's going to be beautiful. They had mixed reviews on Amazon, so some people said that they were hard to set up or that there wasn't enough cloud for the lights. But my fantastic, wonderful husband who built me this booth and also happens to be an electrician has some really good ideas, I'm sure, for putting these up. He's going to take care of us, guys. Don't worry about it. So I'm very excited about that. Probably slightly more exciting is this. Does anybody want to guess what this is? I'm sure some of you already know. And I'm not going to take the whole thing out of the bag, but I will open it up just a little bit for you to see what's inside. Oh, I like that. That's a pretty great noise. So this, guys, is an expandable pop-up green screen that is almost exactly the size of the interior doors of the booth. And it's blue on the other side as well. So a couple of good choices. I don't know if you guys saw the disaster that was the Willy Wonka video. No, I take that back. I'm not gonna hate on myself because that video took a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of editing, and the content I think was really great. The first time it came out way too quiet, and so there's 2 versions out there. There's the original version, which is like way too quiet, and then there's another version that I re-released where the volume was adjusted. But the background work was shoddy. It was my first time trying to do something. Well, I take that back. It's the second time. The first one I did a video for my kids' science project where I put a laboratory behind him. Excuse me, goodness. So I put the laboratory behind him, but at any rate, I'm quite inexperienced with such things, and I thought that I would be able to sort of like make my own variations in color from the wrinkles, right? Because the light hits the wrinkles differently, and there are like shadows or shaded areas, which causes the background to not actually be a solid color. So because of that, I had to do a bunch of workarounds, and there were some parts of the videos where my props were like see-through in areas, which I know wasn't the greatest, but I think that if you guys are anything like me, you're watching this with your eyes closed for the most part anyway. And so hopefully it wasn't too big of a distraction. But this will hopefully alleviate some of those problems, and I will be able to do some more intricate background swaps in the future. So the next thing I want to show you guys is my Ahsoka bobblehead. The Great World of Funko Pop. Her lightsabers are blue. And anyone who's familiar with Star Wars lore knows that there was really only a very brief period of time that Ahsoka had blue lightsabers. It was after she was kicked out of the Jedi Order, or after she chose to leave the Jedi Order, and she was brought back on a special assignment to lead the 501st. In the Battle of Mandalore. And Anakin, who was very, very nearly Darth Vader at this point, sorry if that's a spoiler for you, he rebuilt her lightsabers. Her original ones that they took away from her. And so originally they had been green, and when he rebuilt them, they turned blue. I'm sure that there are plenty of theories on why that happened. Because as you know, the Jedi has to be attuned to the kyber crystal in the lightsaber, which is what determines the color. So she had that for the battle in Mandalore, and she used it when she was battling with Darth Maul. And shortly after that, Order 66 went into effect, and all of the clones were trying to kill her. And she had to take the chip out of Rex's head so that he could help her escape. And can I just say that if you've seen the Clone Wars animated series, that scene where Darth Maul is destroying the ship is absolutely bone-chilling. Like, it gave me such an appreciation for how much power Darth Maul actually had. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So at the end of that episode, which was actually the end of the series itself, the ship crashes, and of course all of the clones on board die, and her and Rex buried some of the clones, and she buried her lightsabers as well, those blue lightsabers. So she had them for like a few days. So it's kind of cool that this particular Funko Pop is from that very specific era, and nowadays she has white lightsabers. I nerd out way too much on this Star Wars stuff, it's so crazy. But I do. I absolutely love all of the backstories and seeing how all of the people's lives intertwine. Okay, sorry. Way too much time on that. Moving on. This is something super special that I got for myself for Christmas. You may recognize always sold out. And then I just happened to, one Friday, I logged on and it was like an hour too late, and I knew there wasn't going to be anything left over. And at first when I searched for in-stock slimes, nothing showed up. And I was like, yep, everything's out of stock. And then as I handed the phone to my kid, Corwin, goes, well, what about this one? This says it's in stock. And he had gone to a different page. And I was like, oh my god, just buy it. So somehow, randomly, by the luck of the universe, I was able to get my hands on an actual OG slime. And this is, I think, peppermint hot cocoa. And it's a block slime. But it was worth the wait and totally worth the price. It makes such wonderful noises. It's so thick and crunchy. It smells amazing. Exactly like peppermint hot chocolate. Sorry, it must be 6 because my alarm is going off. I don't know how much of that you could hear, but if you heard it, I apologize. So anyway, back to the slime. Totally worth the wait. Totally worth the effort. I cannot express to you how amazing. I have had slimes. I have made slimes. I have purchased a lot of slimes. And no slime that I have ever played with has been as high quality or as amazing as this one. I could really just do a whole video where I'm just playing with it. I did have to add some activator when it came. That sounded ridiculous. I did have to add some activator when it came. But it's okay. It comes with a little bit of activator, and it came with some really pretty charms, which I don't think we put those in the slime because there was literally so much slime packed into this tub that if you put the charms into the slime would overflow. Now, I've played with it so much since then, it's gotten a little smaller because they will shrink over time. But, oh my goodness gracious, I can't stop playing with it. I think maybe I will do a whole video on this. Just playing and stretching it, crinkling it, making poppy little bubbles in it. And to be honest, if I had had my choice of slimes to purchase from them, this would not have been the one that I picked. Because the Crunch Bomb slimes and the block slimes have a warning on them that they're not for sensitive hands, that they can poke at your hands a lot. But I don't think that distracts me from enjoying it. It's not quite as rough as I had anticipated. Look at that. And now I've had this for a little over a month now. And I play with it nearly constantly. So you can see it's really holding up well as far as slimes go. you to log in on Fridays to try to get some more fun, exciting ASMR slimes from them. They have made a customer for life. I'm totally an OG groupie now. Okay, enough of that. Like, I just want to keep playing with it, but stick it back in its container. Now, technically, you should wash your hands before and after playing with slimes. Every single time. And I did wash my hands before. But I'm not going to be able to wash my hands this time. It's okay. It's not. My hands very slightly smell like peppermint now, but not bad. And there's not like any kind of film or stickiness left over on my hands, which I love. Okay, so the next item is going to require a little bit of editing, but I'll go ahead and show you right now. I got some mic covers. I got a plain black foam cover. I got a gray fluffy dead cat cover. And I got a pink fuzzy cover. This is less furry and more fuzzy than the other one, than the gray one, but definitely very pretty. So I'm gonna do each cover and do a couple of different sounds on the cover so that we can test out